Hello friends, in previous session I asked you to create unit test cases for our grade remark function. So let us discuss the solution of this problem. So this is the code for our grade remark function. Here we are enforcing preconditions and this is the code for displaying appropriate message. So let's create its unit test case. So for this we have to create a function with test underscore grade remark name. There is no need to pass any parameter to this function, and here we have to use assert statement to check this for various values. So if I pass 0 to this, then it should return false. But if I pass 1 to this, then it should return trollish. It's very important to use same case because the string should be exactly same. Let's check this for negative number also. If my number is, let's suppose, -1, then it should return false. So for 1 to 79, it should be returning trollish. So let's add some more cases. For 34, this is a normal range, so it should return trollish. Then let's check the boundary cases. So if the value is 79, it should be returning trollish, and if the value is 80, it should return acceptable. So I can simply copy paste this. Let's check one normal range. If it is 85, it is again acceptable. Now let's check this for 89. For 89 it is acceptable, but for 90 it should return exceed expectations. Here I have checked the range 80 to 89. Now I can move to 90 to 95. I have already checked it for 90, so let's check it for 95. So for 95 it should return exceed expectations, but if the input grade is 96, then it should return outstanding. If your input is 100, it should be outstanding, but if the input is more than 100, so you can see that the range of outstanding is from 96 to 100. If my input is 101, it should not work. So for 101, it should be returning false. Similarly, we can check one more case by adding some very large number. It should return false, and it should not work for string values. So if your value is string, it should return false. So let's check few string cases. So here I have checked few string values. Now let's check this for float. So float values are allowed. So if your value is 34.6, then it should return trollish. Similarly, if grade is 85.7, it should return acceptable. So we have checked enough cases, so then we can simply print, and then we can simply call this function. So here I am calling this function. Let us execute this whole code. So you can see that in the end we are getting the message all unit tests are passed. It means that finally this print statement has been executed. This print statement will only execute if all the Boolean expressions mentioned in all of these assert statements are returning true. It means our function has passed all the test cases and we are getting this message all unit tests are passed. So I hope that through this discussion you get a clear idea that how we can perform unit testing for our function. Here we are checking all boundary cases as well as we are checking our preconditions. It is very important to cover all the preconditions and boundary cases, and this exhaustive testing helps us to identify any error in our code. Let's suppose instead of using greater than or equal to, we have used only greater than sign. It means there is a problem in our logic. So if we run this code, this will automatically captured by our test case. So here our test case states that for 80 we should get acceptable. So one can take note from this and can correct the mistake in the code, and after making that correction we are again getting all unit tests are passed. So it's very important to cover all the cases and preconditions during building your test cases. So this is all about this session. All the code discussed in this session is available in the description of this video. You can directly use this code to practice it. As you know, there are two ways to implement preconditions. One is if condition and another is to use asset statement. In this session, we have performed unit testing if preconditions are implemented with if conditions. And in next session, we will be performing unit testing if preconditions are implemented with asset statement. And you know that normally our preconditions are implemented with asset statement. So let us consider this code. Here we have implemented our preconditions with asset statements. So if our preconditions are implemented with asset statement, then the checking of preconditions will be different. So we will be using this grade remark function where our preconditions are implemented with asset statements, and we will be discussing its unit testing in our next session. Thanks for watching this video. God bless you. Bye bye.